Hey, I'm just bopping to that beat. That's cool.
Something different.
Yeah.
And well, I noticed that through like Ryan, your streams recently, like that beat, and I'm like, where's the old sound gone? I'm so used to it, you know.
Yeah, they changed it. It must have been a few weeks ago, I think.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Well, hey Ryan.
What's going on?
There he is.
Can you hear us okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
I've just moved in, and the internet and everything is like all over the shop, so it's working. It's working.
Awesome.
That's the main thing, man. Well, I appreciate you joining, and yeah, well, with that in mind, hey everyone, welcome to Z Talks episode 68 with 3 absolute living legends today on the stream. It's not going to be a stream where we switch guests every hour and a half. It's just going to be us guys for about an hour and a half, up to 2 hours, just talking about anything and everything. We'll talk about a lot, probably on our minds, and you guys can chip in the comment section down below in the live chat. So leave some comments, some questions for all of us, or specific guests, whoever you want to ask, just certainly leave that. So we'll start with real talk with Ryan. So Ryan, how you doing, man?
Doing good, man. Appreciate you having me on. It's been a little bit since I've been on here.
It's, you know, it's all about the schedules, you know.
It is. It really is. Like, we always plan and talk about it because we talk pretty much every day. We're like, when do you want to do a stream? And it's like, well, this is mine this week. Well, I'm doing this week. So, you know, we just make do when we can, you know.
Right, 100%, yeah, and it's just trying to figure out that balance and getting that balance. So luckily our schedules aligned today, so that's really good. I appreciate you joining, man.
Yeah,
really do.
Thanks for inviting me as always.
Yeah, of course. For anyone who doesn't know, by the way, Real Talk with Ryan used to be Raven O's fan 89. I did do a name change very recently, so he's still the same guy, but with a cool new intro. So I appreciate you joining. And then we've got another Ryan just directly below, who is not your normal geek. So how are you doing, Ryan? How's the move going?
It's going. It's going. It's been one hell of a 2 days, honestly. There's bags everywhere. It's like a maze. I'm climbing over things like an obstacle course. But we're getting there. I think I told you, Mike, but it's so much closer to the cinema, so I'm looking forward to getting a lot more trips into the movies. Up and coming Monday, Novocaine, I get an early screening, thanks to Odeon, so I'm looking forward to that, definitely. And Jason, I don't know if you guys know, but he did win the quiz that were done on my channel, and I've got his prize here. I haven't forgot, Jason.
Uh-oh.
It's in this magical tube, which will be on its way to you.
Awesome.
Well, I it was a little unfair. It was my kind of quiz.
There were some close calls, but you did get it. So I've got to be a man of my word, and I've got to send you the prize.
Awesome.
I'm looking forward to that unboxing on the channel, Jason, for sure. No, nice, man, right. Well, Ryan, I'm really appreciate you joining, man, and I'm really glad to hear that the movie's at least going okay, and you're closer to the cinema, and you get to see the Novocaine on Monday. That's really cool, man. I think it's general release for Friday, us, like next week. You guys in America probably had it on Blu-ray and 4K by now, so it's crazy. But yeah, so Ryan, thanks for joining, and of course we've got the champ in the bottom corner, Jason. How you doing, my friend?
Doing good.
Well, Jason, I appreciate you joining, and of course making another appearance on Z Talk.
Anytime you mention it, I'm there. I'm there. I'll always be there.
At this point, Jason, whenever I'm thinking about Z Talks and you're like, oh, I'm working that day, I'm like, I'll postpone it another week. It's okay. I can't do Z Talks without Jason at this point, to be honest with you guys. So if you don't know, Jason, Ryan, we're both Ryans. Links are down below in the description box. Please go subscribe to all of these guys. They've got their own separate goals on YouTube, close to hitting them. Like Jason's, like starting to get up to nearly 400 subs. So I'm waiting for that day, Jason. I really am.
Yeah.
And Ryan's trying to hit the monetization goal this year, guys. So go watch his videos, go watch them in full, leave a like, leave a comment, send them out into the algorithm. That's what that man needs right there. And other Ryan, and other Ryan, he's after monetization at some point as well. So, he's got a flat, he's just moved in, guys. Help him with the rent, help him get monetized as well.
There you go.
But we've got a few comments to start things up, so we'll throw a few comments in here. We've got Harry saying, "Hey, Mike and crew."
What's going on,
Hey,
Harry?
man, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. And of course, the viewer Drew, the live stream comment legend. Hey, what's up, Drew? Hope you're well.
What's going on, Drew? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing good.
Yeah, exactly. And we've got Nick as well. Hey, Nick. He says, my 3 favorite YouTube guys all together online with Mike hosting them.
What's going on, Nick?
Yeah, I hope you're doing well, Nick. Yeah, really cool guy. And he's got, I'm watching Popeye the Slayer, man. Give it an 8 out of 10. It's got a good story and great kills. Wow.
Nice. Okay.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool, man. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yeah. I did drop my review yesterday, but yeah, this is like the first public domain movie that's got like Terrifier level kills with practical effects. I was like, wow, I did not expect this. It's a bit of a treat, I guess, for horror fans, who's going to be checking that out at some point. This on your guys' list at all?
It's funny. I had my stream last night with TJ, and somebody mentioned it. And there's been so many of these public domain movies. I forgot that you watched it, Mike, and that was the title of the movie. Because there's been so many that you've told me about, and like you've shown me, and I was like, oh, after the stream, I was like, that is the movie, because I watched your review, and I was like, that's the title of the movie that somebody was asking me about. So, yeah, I guess I'll have to watch it eventually, along with all the other great ones that you've been watching, like Goldilocks and stuff like that. So. Add it to the list.
Just wait till Goldilocks drops on Tuesday. It's like a 9-minute rant. I went to town on that movie.
Yeah, they just keep dropping those like flies, man. It's crazy how many they keep putting out. And then I think I told you about the other one earlier, Shiver Me Timbers. They're putting on DVD, which I don't know when that's coming out. If that's just getting a DVD release or if it's getting a VOD or what. I don't know.
I don't know what kind of release it's getting, because I know, and I think next week we get maybe not next week, but the week after we get the Steamboat Willie one with the David Howard Thornton.
Yeah, that one I'm gonna go check out. I think it's in theaters for just like a couple days, like all they're doing with all the other ones. So I'll give that one a shot, see how it is. I don't even think I watched the trailer for it personally, so I'll go into it blind.
Right. Yeah, I haven't seen a trailer really either, so same with you. Ryan, what about you? Are you going to be checking out Popeye the Slayer, man?
And unfortunately, it's not going to be on my watch list. But Mr. Movie Madness, I'm glad you're enjoying it. But I kind of get it. Have you seen them pictures of bodybuilders where it's like they've injected synthol and they're just like big gloopy muscles? It looks like that. It just puts us off. But yeah, hey, I hope it's all right for whoever else is watching it. But I unfortunately won't be.
The muscles do look exactly like that, Ryan, as well. That's actually a good way to put it. And Jason, the biggest horror fan that we know, are you going to be checking this one out?
I haven't seen one of those movies. I know there's like a Popeye's Revenge out there as well.
Yep.
That's crazy. There's 2 Popeye horror movies. Like, what? Popeye got real popular all of a sudden, I guess.
They did.
As soon as it enters public domain, that's it. It's anyone's territory at that point.
Yeah, I was like, maybe we should make one. Ryan's got some, filmmaking skills, and Mike, and he's acted in some movies. So why don't we?
Hey, Jason, if you want to donate $100,000 to me, I'll make it happen.
Well, that's it. I mean, which public domain character do you think we should make, Jason? Who would you like to see as a public domain horror?
That's a good question. Who would be a good one that they haven't done yet? Have they done them all though?
I've done quite a fair few at this point. Yeah,
I know there's Bambi coming out.
Yep.
I think Cinderella as well. I think.
Yeah. There's a Bambi one.
I think Goofy would be interesting. Because you could make it funny because he's kind of like a clumsy type of character and Goofy. So
right
there you go.
You could kind of add a horror comedy type vibe to it, and I don't know.
Yuck, whatever.
Yeah, you can do yuck while you slashing them around. Oops, I made a bad cut there.
Yeah.
Now I would watch that. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I mean that'd be interesting.
Sign me up. Man, there's just too many. We've got the Shark here as well saying hi. Hey
What's up,
Shark,
Shark?
what's going on? Hope you're doing good. And we've got Darkroom Review saying Ryan, great group of creators. Hey Darkroom,
What's up, Joel?
hope you're doing well, man. We got Mr. Midman saying I will be watching Novocaine, Death of the Unicorn, a Minecraft movie, and Snow White this week.
Oh wow.
A lot of movies.
Awesome. Definitely a bit of a variety as well, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Any of you guys? Well, Ryan, I know you've seen Snow White, and Novocaine. Are you going to check out the other two?
Yeah, Death of a Unicorn, I'm checking out Thursday. And Minecraft, I know Jess wants to see that, so probably me and her will check that out probably that weekend or something, because she really wants to see it.
Nice. And what about Ryan? What about you?
Yeah, I'm going to be checking out Novocaine tomorrow. Minecraft movie, I'm not too fussed on that one. I've watched the animation of the Snow White for the very first time just 2 nights ago, and I really enjoyed it. So I want to try and give the live action a go as well. I've heard very mixed stuff on it.
Yeah, it seems to be a movie that's definitely been polarizing at the moment. I know I haven't seen Ryan's review, but I know that he didn't mind it too much. So give me hope. For sure. Yeah, sounds good, Ryan. Sounds good. And Jason, how about yourself?
Yeah, I was thinking about going to see Snow White yesterday, and I was like, do I go watch Snow White or do I watch college basketball? And I ended up just watching college basketball. So it won out on. But I don't know. I have some days off next week. I can possibly go see Snow White. It's like one of those things. Like I just don't have a good feeling about it. So it's like, but I wanted to go watch it so I can review it on my channel, and and it's like, I don't know. Do I want to torture myself just so I can get views on my channel? We'll see, I guess. I want to see the Minecraft movie when that comes out. I definitely want to see that. Novocaine, I thought about it. I don't know. I might not count that one either. I might wait till it comes out. Death of the Unicorn, I don't have any interest in that one, though.
Right. Yeah, I could get you, Jason. I get you, and I think it's one of those things with Snow White, especially. Like, yeah, I guess it is pulling views, like pretty good views for a lot of people. But then at the same time, do you really care to see it in the cinema? So I think that's what's going to come down to. Yeah, for sure. Minecraft movie in the UK, we get an early screen of it on the 3rd of April. I'm not sure when it drops for you guys in the States.
Same week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking, oh, great early review. It's the same day as you guys. The other ones I'll watch, yeah, Novocaine I'm kind of excited for, I'll be honest. Death of the Unicorn, that just looks bonkers, to be fair, so who knows. Snow White will probably be next week, I think. As well, yeah, so sounds good, man. We've got Nick with a question. He says, I'm going to post an early question. Oscars. We all predicted things, but any great shocks, moments of joy, or disappointments for you? Okay.
So I guess I'll start with it.
Yeah,
really,
sure.
the only thing that was, I guess, surprising was Flow winning instead of Wild Robot.
Yes.
Because otherwise, like, my picks were spot on pretty much through Jason's contest. So
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like, Flow, I think Flow was the only one I didn't guess. I just didn't think like it would get that kind of recognition, and like Wild Robot was like the one where everybody loved. It seemed like so. For me, I know not everybody loved it. I know Jason, you weren't a fan of it. I know Mike, you weren't really a fan of it, but I love Venora, so I was happy it got the wins that it got. I was happy that the Brutalist got the wins it got as well. I think like the only thing that for the show for me is I wish that they would cut down on the jokes a little bit, and because the show ran a little long to me, I felt like, and like I think we didn't get like the first award until like 45 minutes into the show, So, and then there was a lot of commercials too. I thought there was a lot of like commercials. So that like delayed it. And the show was like, I think it was like 4 hours, wasn't it? Because it started at 7 and it ended at like 11. At least for me. I know I'm on Eastern time, but yeah, it was pretty late. It was like a 4-hour show. And I think they could have cut down on jokes a little bit, shorten the show just a tad. But you know, maybe some people like that. For me, I want to get just into the rewards. That's how I am.
Yeah, I could get that. I think with the amount of awards that they give out, it doesn't need to be 4 hours, to be honest.
Yeah.
What did you think of that Conan O'Brien song, Wasting Time? That was, I thought it was quite funny at the start, but then it just went on, and it was doing what the title of the song was, wasted a lot of time.
It was wasting time, yeah. No, we didn't need that part, I don't think, to be honest.
Well,
I didn't mind him as a host, though. I will say that. I didn't mind him.
Well, he's coming back next year to do Waste of Time Part 2. So, you'll see him again then, Ryan. But yeah, no, Ryan, no, like, cool to hear from you, like, what you thought was, like, you know, cool things or disappointments and stuff. Yeah. You know, I'm not really surprised that Flo did win. Patrick as well. Hey, Patrick, he says Flo deserved that win.
Oh, yeah, it's a good movie. I did like it, Patrick.
I think, you know what it is for me? I think a lot of the time they appreciate a lot of the indie projects. I think with Flo was all made on like software editing programs, and it was like such a low budget. And for last year, it got like huge praise. So I kind of wasn't really surprised, especially with like all the cat lovers in the world as well. I still haven't seen Wild Robot, so I can't comment on the Wild Robot.
You haven't seen?
But, nah, unfortunately, I went out to the cinema by the time I like had free time to go and see it, and I wanted to try see it on the big screen and rather than just digital. But I will catch it though. I really do want to see it, especially with you guys loving that movie. You know, I definitely want to see it. I think probably me and Jason's going to agree here with Nora getting too many awards, but then it kind of contradicts what Ryan's thoughts are.
It's all good.
I don't know. I don't mind the movie. It's not a terrible movie, but it's just one I don't think should have won so many. Like, fair enough, Mikey Madison. I think she was really good in the movie.
Yeah.
And like the behind the scenes stuff, like she learned Russian, she learned like the whole dance and like everything for that one movie, which is quite incredible if you think about learning Russian. Yeah, that's not an easy language to learn.
Yeah.
But kind of like best picture over like Dune and stuff like that. I'm like, really? I don't know. That's what I would say. I would say Flow as well. I was really happy that Flow won. To be fair, really cool movie. We'll go with Ryan first because I know Jason's a huge Oscar fan, so I know he's going to have a lot to say on this. So, Ryan, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, my main two disappointments with the Oscars was Margaret Qualley not getting nominated for Best Supporting Actress, and both basically being to do with The Substance. Demi Moore not getting the win. That was so disappointing. I thought she really deserved it over who got it. Both just for like earned in a career, but actual performance as well. I think it was a perfect time for her to win and possibly a last opportunity. So that's my two disappointments. I haven't seen Anora. If you've seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I've just been put off Mickey Madison since then. When she's like screaming when she's on fire, diving in the pool, I just found her so frustrating, so annoying. So that kind of put us off. But maybe I should give it a go.
She does a lot of screaming in this one as well, right? So,
Yes.
In a different way from what I've heard, but
both. I'll say that. Yeah. But no, I kind of agree with Demi Moore though. I think she was great in The Substance as well. Yeah, I really enjoyed the performance. Yeah. I mean, I love that movie. I'm surprised Jason didn't mind that movie. That was my big shock for me. But yeah, Jason, how about yourself? What was your kind of disappointment or best shocks you had, or when you cheered out loud?
Yeah, there's 3 categories that were surprises or shocks to me because I missed only 3 categories, and that was Flo beating Wild Robot. That I didn't see Flo, but I still don't think that's better than Wild Robot. That was my second favorite movie of the year. And Mike was the only one to predict that Flo was going to win that category out of the 6 people that were in my contest. So I don't know how Mike got that right. Everybody else got it wrong because everybody kind of went with what everybody was going to say. Everybody said Wild Robot's going to win. It was winning the war. Well, Flo did win the Golden Globe, but I think Wild Robot was still the one everybody was predicting to win. So, and this is the second year in a row the animation department, I think, did a terrible job. Because Spider-Man Across the Universe is one of the best animated movies I've ever seen. It's so stupid that did not win last year, and then Wild Robot didn't win this year. So I'm not happy with the animation. Whoever's voting the animation with right now, they are, anyways. But also it was I think it was best edit, or was it best editing? Everybody said what's it, the movie about the Pope? Now I'm forgetting the names.
Conclave.
Conclave. Everybody said Conclave was going to win that category.
Hmm.
Everybody, and then Anora, I think, ended up winning it. So that was a bit of a surprise. I wasn't expecting that. And then I think the worst one was Demi Moore not winning Best Actress. I was so upset that she did not win, because you knew Demi Moore would go up there and be like giving this really inspirational speech. She's been in the business for a long time. She's, never been looked at as a, Oscar contender, and here she's in her 60s and she's winning the Oscar, and she would have given this great speech, and we would have been like, oh my gosh, that was a great speech. Instead we get Mickey Madison, who's like in her 20s, and like, who cares, So we missed out on a great moment, I think. Yeah. I mean, the Oscars the movies are so terrible that they nominate the worst movies. I mean, like 5 of the movies nominated for was in my top 10 worst movies of the year. I actually hate these movies that they nominate. I just don't get it. The only movie I liked was the Bob Dylan movie, Complete Unknown. It didn't win one Oscar. That was my favorite movie of the year. Didn't win one Oscar. Come on. That movie is way better than the other contenders, in my opinion. And for me, that was, to me, the best movie by far. And then The Wild Robot was my second favorite movie of the year. It did not win one Oscar. It's like, oh my gosh. I don't know. I just hate what the Oscars has done. I mean, what happened to Forrest Gump winning Best Picture, Braveheart winning Best Picture, Titanic winning Best Picture, Lord of the Rings: Return of the King winning Best Picture? Let's get back to good movies winning these categories that people watch. Now, sorry, I know Ryan likes Anora, so I apologize, but
you're not offended me.
Like if Dune won, I'd rather Dune win because people watch that movie. Or Wicked, people watch that movie. I don't think that many people watch Anora. I might be wrong, but I feel like, I don't know. I feel like we need to give it to movies that people actually, watch. I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm going on a rant. The best part of the whole, Conan O'Brien is one of the best hosts I've ever seen. He better come back again next year. He is a million times better than Jimmy Kimmel. I think it was one of the worst hosts I've ever seen. And then that one year they had the 3 actresses was terrible as well. Yeah, let's get Conan O'Brien again. I thought he did a great job, as you knew he would. I mean, come on, it's Conan O'Brien. He's so funny. And then the Karen Culkin speech is the best moment, I think, in the whole Oscars. I laughed so hard at that speech.
Yeah, he was pretty much a lock to win that award from like the first announcement, really.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think with Flo, like I think it was just so talked about. Like a lot of videos I'd watched, like it was so talked about, and I was like, no one's really talking about the Wild Robots. I'm like, it's gonna go to like the small independent animation movie. But yeah, I mean, this is a good point, right? So I want to touch on one thing that Jason mentioned there about the best picture winner being Anora, and back in the past it would be Forrest Gump and a Braveheart, which are now kind of like cinema classics, right? And like masterpieces, and kind of well revered in just movie talk. Like everyone knows these movies. So kind of with the last few years winners and say Anora, do you think like say in 20 years time people's gonna remember Anora?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I'll give it a few years and people will it'll become like a cult classic, but I don't think it's going to be a one that's going to be just revered like a Braveheart, or I don't think so.
I think times have changed though with movies though, compared back in like the 90s and 2000s. You have a lot of like first time directors and a little bit more under the radar directors, and just different kind of movies being nominated versus like, back during those times. Plus, like, I think like a lot of things have happened in the movie industry since a lot of those movies have won. Just with like how many movies we watch, Mike, where it's usually like a first time director or somebody that hasn't really wrote that many movies. Like I feel like that's kind of how the industry is, and I don't know if it's because not only just, I mean, the opportunities are great, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if that has something to do with like the budget of like hiring that said person. Like maybe it's like cheaper for the studios to just get somebody versus like a Ridley Scott or, you know, some other director that would want more money. So I'm wondering if that has a factor into it. But then again, I mean, studios are spending frivolous money still. I mean, like Netflix just had Electric State and spent 300 and some million on that. So there's still stupid decisions being made. Like another example is that in the Lost Lands movie that had $55 million to what's the director, Paul Anderson, and it made $1 million at the box office. So it's like, you know, some of the decisions are crazy with these studios and what they do. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I don't think they're thinking at all, like at all. So I just think the industry's changed. I just don't think it's the same how it was, you know, maybe 20 years ago.
I think that's a fair point. You know, it's definitely, you're right. It's a lot's changed. I mean, you're right. How many movies do we all watch and it's a first time director, or like say Madam Web, right? It had 3 writers on that who pretty much are unknown, right? And like a director who maybe, or we see a lot of directors who maybe did like maybe a big movie in the 90s and then they come and do a movie like 30 years later, and you're like, well, they're going to be pretty cheap to hire. They haven't done nothing in 30 years. They haven't had a hit in 30 years. So let's drag them out. There was a movie the other day I watched, and I can't remember what it was I reviewed, but that had like a director who did the Full Monty. And the Full Monty is like a British classic, like over here, right? But he hadn't done anything since the Full Monty. So to have him come back and do a movie again, like his price tag to have him is probably pretty cheap, you know?
Right.
And he's probably not going to care about doing like a mediocre movie. He's like, oh, well, I'm back in the limelight. You know, someone wants me for my directing skills, or, you know, back when. Yeah, and I've got a kind of question for you guys, talking about the Oscars very quickly. So do you think that maybe Anora won more awards because of the whole Amelia Perez controversy? Because that movie was like a shoo-in to win like 15 awards, pretty much. And then since that controversy, won like 2 maximum.
Yeah, I mean, that probably had an effect. I mean, if they would have won all those awards still, I think there would have been a lot of backlash and a lot of angry people. And pretty much everybody I know doesn't like that movie. So I would really be interested if it did win all the awards. You know, how would people be, you know, feeling about it? I think it'd be a different conversation,
the internet would blow up.
Personally.
Well, Ryan, I know you saw Amelia Perez. I know Jason saw it. Ryan, did you see it?
No, I haven't seen it. I didn't even know it came out until it was nominated at the Oscars. So that's my knowledge on that one. But yeah, I haven't heard great things from like 90% of people who I know have seen it. So right. I just kind of stayed away from it.
Right. Yeah, Jason did not like that movie. I've not seen a single good review for it, I'll be honest with you. I've not seen the movie. Ryan's not seen it, but you guys have, and I know you guys both don't like it. So, you know, I kind of trust what you guys say. I know Perez didn't like it. Rashad wasn't a fan of it, the movie.
Oh, yeah.
No, he wasn't.
So it says a lot, really. And, well, speaking of a legend, we've got Anthony A. Perez in the chat. What up, fellas? Group of legends. Well, hey, Perez, hope you're doing good, man. And we've got Josh from Food Lens saying, hey, fellas, how's it going? So, hey, Josh, hope you're doing well, Josh. Man.
He's one of those that I watched the review for, I can't even remember the name. The one that we were literally just talking about on Netflix. Amelia Perez. Yeah, he's one of them that I watched the review, and he also was not a fan of it.
Yeah.
I don't think many people are, to be fair. I'd say I've honestly not seen a single good review for it, like, at all. Apart from like letterbox reviews, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't know if I trust them, you know. But you know, each to their own. Patrick's just adding here saying that Debbie not winning is not a surprise.
Yeah, Didn't surprise me either.
And Nora brought it to the Oscars. And Josh was saying, I'm glad that Nora cleared. Would have liked Brady Corbett to have won something.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Brutalist director, right?
Yes.
I haven't seen the Brutalist. But again, I know that was a well kind of received movie. Body horror and horror in general still looking on the outside in. Yeah, I mean, at least the Substance won makeup, so at least it was like acknowledged, and at least award, nominated, because a lot of the time horror doesn't get nominated at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so
that is true.
I'm glad it did. Again, I'm still shocked that Jason didn't mind the Substance. I'm really not. Like, because when Jason
watched it.
Ryan, is that your tail?
I know.
Dude, he was screaming at the door. I literally had to let him in. That's why I just had to pause my camera. He is like yelling at the door, let him in. So he's finally chill, and he's got to sit in my lap. He's a lap cat.
He cries all the time for Ryan, for sure.
Seriously, like even when I'm voice noting Mike, he'll be yelling at me, and I'm like, dude, just leave me alone for a few seconds.
Right. I hate him all the time. We've also got hashtag Employee of the Year, Cinematic Intensity, watching from work. Well, hey, Cinematic. Hope we're doing well. Hashtag Father of the Year as well.
Yeah.
I've got to throw that one in there. No, but I hope you're doing well, man. We've got an interesting question from Drew, by the way. Well, firstly, Darkroom did say I watched Novocaine and had a blast with it.
I'm glad you had a good time with it, Joel.
Yeah, definitely. But Drew asks, what do you think is Brad Pitt's best performance?
There's quite a few.
Yeah, he's did a lot of huge movies.
The first one that kind of popped into my head just purely because it was like one of, my favorite movie maybe 5-10 years ago, and it's still up there. Fight Club. I loved that film growing up. Like the twist in it and everything. I just thought he'd done an amazing role, and he's a lot of part of the reason why I do like that film so much. His F1 movie looks really interesting as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see that. That looks pretty good.
Yeah, I saw they put a trailer for that the other day. I haven't seen it yet, but I'd be kind of interested in, because he always picks quite interesting roles, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
No, yeah, right. I think that's a good pick. Yeah, right. Fight Club's solid movie, like for him. Yeah, I think he did great in that. Yeah, I agree. A movie that I kind of grew up watching a lot as a teenager was Troy. I always remember liking him in the movie Troy. I don't know if that movie still holds up. It might be terrible now, but I remember really liking them in that one, so I'm going to go Troy. Ryan, Jason, what about you guys?
For me, I'd have to really think about it because I haven't seen a lot of his old movies. Like Fight Club, I haven't seen at all. I need to. One of my friends has been like asking me, "You need to watch that movie. It's really good." And I'm like, "Yeah, I gotta get around to it." I like him in World War Z. I love that movie. That movie's pretty fun. But I'd have to really think. But that one does come to mind that I really do enjoy him in. So, but yeah, a lot of his older movies I haven't seen.
I get you. Well, I've not seen World War Z. That's one I've been meaning to watch for a long time, but I haven't got to it yet. But no, man, that's cool to hear though. Some of his older roles are really good. Like Fight Club, I think you'll really enjoy that movie.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say they enjoy that one, so it's on the list.
You don't talk about Fight Club, Ryan. That's rule number one, my friend. Jason, what about you? What's your favorite Brad Pitt performance?
I might go with 12 Monkeys. I think that's the name of the movie.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of it. I've not seen it, but I've heard of it.
Like a futuristic, and then they go to like this, almost like an insane asylum or something like that. And Brad Pitt plays like this totally insane character. It's very kind of different than the most characters he plays. He plays it very well. This kind of psycho kind of character.
Is that the one with Bruce Willis?
Yes, Bruce Willis goes back into the past to like stop an event, I think, and it's a very trippy movie. But I believe Brad Pitt got a nomination for Best Supporting Actor, I think, in the role, if I remember right. But yeah, I love Troy though. I have to say, Mike, Troy's a really good movie, and I like Brad Pitt in that.
What's he say? Oh. You stack of wine or something as he's like insult or something.
I don't remember. That might be.
I think
That's good impression.
Seven's a really good shout as well. He's fantastic in that.
7.
Seven's awesome movie. It recently had an anniversary, right? I think it had an anniversary release in cinema. Can't remember.
Yeah, I think they had like a nice steelbook for it and everything. I still haven't seen that movie either.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I've seen it.
You got a lot of catch up on with those, man. Even I've seen that one, right? So
I always do, dude. I'm the worst. When it comes to older movies, you can forget it. I probably haven't seen it, most likely.
You're not alone. You're not alone, my friend. I'm usually the one there. But no, great question, though, Drew. Thanks for the question, man. We've got very quickly got Cinematic thrown in. What new movies are you watching in theaters this week? Well, Ryan's seen 4 movies every day. So
Yeah, this month has been nuts for movies. Honestly, it's been tough, like trying to decide, like, okay, what am I going to see this week? There's like 6 new movies, so trying to cover everything and do a lot of double up. But this week, Cinematic, on Tuesday, I'm going to catch The Assessment. And on Thursday, I'm going to double up and see Death of a Unicorn and Woman in the Yard.
Oh.
And then there's a few other movies that come out, but I don't think I'm going to get to them this week, but I'm going to push them to next week. So I think I'm going to be seeing 3 movies total this week, Cinematic. So that's less than what I've been seeing in the last, like, 3 weeks. So,
yeah, you've been like 2 movies every day for the past few weeks. So
yeah, it's been crazy.
That's nuts, man. But yeah, I mean, still cool though. At least you got plenty of options to choose from, for sure.
Oh yeah.
And Ryan, how about you? Now that you live right next to the cinema, are you going to be living there now, my friend? Move in, cheap rent? I mean,
I've just bought a tent. I'm just going to pitch a tent outside the building and just make myself. So Novocaine on Monday. Snow White. I'm not. Is Death of a Unicorn coming out here in the UK this week or?
I think it's a few weeks' time. I think.
I mean, that's what comes to the top of my head. I'm not too sure what else is coming out really, apart from that.
Right.
I know there's the Alto Night with Robert De Niro, but I'm not too fussed on that one.
I'm just gonna be honest. I haven't dropped my review for that yet, Ryan. That movie was boring as hell.
Yeah. I was
like
expecting
seriously. I don't ever do this, guys, but I was pretty much like the only one in the theater. I literally was like, I pulled out my phone a couple times. I was like, this is not getting any better. I don't ever do that, but it was boring as hell, dude. Like, I mean,
that's not good.
The thing about that movie is he plays 2 characters, and the 2 characters face each other. Like, they're 2 famous like drug lords or whatever over like the drug trade, and he has like makeup for like the one guy, and then they're versing each other, and I'm like, this doesn't work at all. Like, no, it just doesn't.
I heard because he's playing like 2 complete different characters, so it's a bit weird they got the same actor. One of them looks exactly like Robert De Niro, and one of them looks a little less like Robert De Niro, but still Robert De Niro. So
pretty much. And like, I feel like that movie breaks the record for how many locations you can have a scene where you just talk about nonsense the entire movie. That's how I feel. I mean, you talk in the park in that movie, you talk at a bar. I mean, they go to several locations where they're just talking about nonsense throughout that entirety of the movie. I think there's like maybe like total action in the entire movie. There's like maybe 10 minutes and that's it. It's terrible. I don't understand. Like, and the other thing I read about that movie is it's been supposedly trying to get made since the 1970s, and the major studios kept denying it and was like, no, we're not doing it. So if that tells you anything. So it's bad. I just tell you up front, that's going to be a 1 out of 5.
I'm sorry, Ryan, you went through that. So yeah, over Ryan, maybe avoid it, my friend. Wow.
Yeah, I just seen but on Friday a Working Man's coming out. I don't know if I'm gonna, even though I'm 10 minutes from the cinema, I don't know if I'm gonna do it. Because like Jason Statham's like the British Dwayne Johnson, he just plays the same thing over.
Yes, he does.
It's essentially the beekeeper, but a different job role.
At least
it's a bricklayer instead of a beekeeper. I don't know.
He's a transporter. He's a mechanic. He's a man.
He's a man of many trades.
It's just a job, and he put him in it. I don't get it.
the thing is, at least with that movie, Ryan, you're guaranteed to have action. You're not going to be bored. At least at least that.
True.
Yeah, I saw that Working Man coming out on Friday. Yeah, I mean, I'll go through mine in a second. But Jason, are you going to catch any movies this week at the cinema, or what's maybe taking your fancy going to see?
Well, like I said, Snow White's the one that I'm thinking about going to see. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Well, for me, I haven't been to cinema in a little bit, so kind of like going through the listings on my phone. So we get Novocaine on Friday. So I'll be seeing that. I haven't seen Snow White. Haven't seen Alto Nights either. Black Bag. I haven't seen. Last Breath. I haven't seen. Marching Powder. I haven't seen.
Wow.
Mickey 17. I also haven't seen. All right. And then Working Man on Friday, right? And then unless there's something else that comes out on top of that. So if the cinema starts showing at like 9 o'clock, I might spend one of my day and go see 5 movies at the cinema to try and catch up.
There you go.
I need to do something because I am really far behind. Instead, I'm watching Popeye the Slayer Man instead.
And Porridge Girl. What is it? The Porridge movie?
Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
Yeah.
There's so many your mic, and you're watching that crap. I don't get it.
I know. Well, I've watched one Patreon pick, so I've watched The Fourth Kind. This week when I'm off, I'm going to watch Jurassic Park. I'm going to watch The Raid as well. And there was Empty Man. I'm going to watch Empty Man as well.
Yeah.
So I've got all them cinema releases I just mentioned, and those movies I need to watch.
You got plenty to watch, man.
I know. Well, on Thursday, I'm doing a day trip to Edinburgh to go see a theatre show with Emma.
Oh, nice.
So one of my days off gets taken up with a full day of travel and a theatre trip. So
right.
It was
just like get a part-time job at Odeon or Cineworld and just on your shift, just sneak into the screenings of the movies and just be, I've seen them, so I'm going to hand them a notice. I'm away.
Yeah. I mean, that would be pretty good. Probably work out pretty good, to be honest. But yeah, man, there's just so many movies, and it's a problem. Like Ryan was saying, like you get caught up. Like if you don't catch them that week, you get caught with 2 extra movies. Then you get caught up with more of them. It's just never ending, really. And then we've got a Death of the Unicorn coming up as well, which again, there's another movie. So like, just busy for sure.
Is that a horror movie or a comedy? I can't figure it out by watching the trailer.
Death of a Unicorn?
Yeah.
It seems like both. It seems like it's leaning a bit both, to be honest.
It looks a lot like Cocaine Bear. It looks a lot like that.
Yes, it does. It does. Yeah. I'm like,
yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it personally, but I'll give it a shot and see. I know the RT score isn't great. Okay. I think I checked this morning; it was at 64%. So, I guess like a little bit over half the critics say yes. So, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of intrigued. I haven't got high hopes either, Ryan. I'll be honest with you, but I'll still go see it. Sid Matty saying, Ryan, no love for my man Stephen.
So I will say he does do a lot of the same roles, but I am gonna go see Working Man, but I'm gonna go see it next week because I just don't have time this week to see more than the 3 movies that I got. So I will go see it the following week. I'm actually gonna do a double up where I watch that and Screamboat one night. So I will get to that the following week.
The Screamboat Willie, is that the one?
Yes, that one, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Right. And then over Ryan as well, there's no love for Stephen from him. He's like, no, I'm not.
I love him in Snatch, Lock, Stock, Mean Machine. A couple of extra of his earlier movies, but yeah, I'm just getting sick of the whole stick. I don't know who hires him for these jobs. He keeps getting fired and he just keeps getting rehired. I don't know what.
I tell you what, man, he's got like a really great resume. Like,
just don't put on your CV how long you've done the job for, because it wouldn't be so long.
I mean, him and like Liam Neeson, they go like Liam Neeson. He likes to go in a lot of different transportation vehicles. Nathan likes a lot of different jobs.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, honestly, like there's he's working man now, construction. He's being picky. There's gonna be another movie. He's gonna be like an Undertaker or something, you know.
Do you want to like place a bet and see what his next job role is going to be in
Yeah,
his next
that's
movie?
a good idea, actually.
Oh man. Well, hold on. Before we place a bet, let me quickly go on Wikipedia see if they've announced any. Because I don't know. If they have, to be honest. That's why I'm a bit like right before we take a guess. So let me get his filmography up here. Right. So he's got Working Man. He's then got a movie afterwards, which is called Mutiny, where he's special forces as a New York police officer.
Oh, switching jobs again.
Switching jobs again. And then he's in another action movie after that, but it doesn't say what that movie is. Okay, Jason, we'll go with you first then. Okay, so besides police officer, which is his next film role, what job role do you think he's taken on?
I think it's going to be something like, "Who are you? I'm just the busboy."
Bus driver.
Bus boy.
It could be like a speed situation where he's driving the bus and.
Oh, okay. Could be a remake of Speed with Jason Statham.
Do you know what a busboy is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got that Jason over here as well.
It's off after you're done eating.
Bus boy.
Well, the busboy, he's a secret Navy SEAL in the past, something like that. And you're like, what?
He's now retired, but he's got to come out and do one more job.
Buses tables for a living. Someone takes over the restaurant, and I don't know. Writes itself.
It does. Ryan, how about you?
I can see the next movie being I'm Just the Crossing Guard, where he's having like the kids walk across the street, and like the plot of the movie is like some sniper takes out somebody, and he's like looking around and everything, trying to find the sniper guy or something. I don't know. He could be something like that. For some reason, I picture him like if they ever remake The Professional, I somehow see him in that role. I don't know why, but I don't know. I just picture him in that role. I don't know, like that whole thing. What Natalie Portman or whatever back in the day. I could see him like mentoring somebody. Like, yeah, I've had every job in the book. I was a beekeeper at one time. I was a working man, but I'm always,
He's always around.
Always around, yeah.
When Patrick Jason Statham is the dishwasher.
Just a dishwasher. Yeah, I can see it.
Well, he could throw plates, couldn't he? Bash him with some plates.
Throw knives, dinner knives. I don't know. Yeah.
Give a guy a little cleaning in the dishwasher.
Yeah.
Extra soap.
Fuck his head in the wall. Yeah.
I could totally see him in the movie going, I'm gonna wash that mouth out with this soap. Better wash that filthy mouth out with this dishwashing soap.
I can see him saying that line as well.
I don't know. I mean,
oh man,
he makes money obviously because he keeps getting these roles.
Right, it's true. He gets a lot of roles. Well,
he must be getting up there, right?
Well, it says here. So, Beekeeper, for example, that was 40 million, but it made 162.
That's crazy.
Pretty decent return, to be fair.
What is he? 50s now, or what is he?
Let's have a look. Well, I've got his page up here.
He doesn't age really. He looks the same age. Like
he's 57.
It's not bad.
Wow.
He looks the same. He's got
years ago. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
He does. Got good genes, I'm guessing.
He's always been baldish, and yeah, I don't know, just
True. Ryan, what about yourself? What role do you think Statham's taking on next?
It's genuinely really hard because it's like it's more the game. Just he's done that many. I mean, he's been a mechanic as well. He's been a casino like manager or something. I don't know, working in a care home or something. I don't know. I have no idea, but it'll be very interesting to see. And I do genuinely believe his next movie is going to be in some kind of job role, like working man.
The banker.
The bank.
I think at this point it's going to be like a cinema usher at this point.
I mean,
No,
what was his last?
usher in the tickets.
What was his last movie that he actually was in? Like an actual, like a really good movie. I can't remember.
Oh, good.
Obviously, like Fast and Furious, Hobbs and Shaw, but
Hobbs and Shaw was fun. I just rewatched that recently.
Yeah.
He hasn't really done much apart from that, like Expendables and stuff, you know. They don't talk about that fourth movie.
Then 4 balls.
Then 4 balls.
Yeah, you don't really see him in a like romantic comedy, do you?
I don't think he's been in one. I don't think.
Or
I don't think he has chemistry with any actress to pull off a romantic comedy, I'll be honest.
He doesn't have time for love. He's got a job to do.
You're right. He never has a romantic interest, does he?
Nah. Well, he didn't. He did. Keep a low profile, right? Cheers, Dave, for this, the cat sitter. I can see it happening for sure. Cinematic saying he could be the dentist, the captain, the astronaut, the lawyer, and the detective, all by my man Stephen.
Now the dentist, he could have some really good lines. Like I can see him.
I'm gonna knock your teeth out.
I could seriously see him as the dentist, like beating someone up, and like the guy's got a wound or something. He's like, "Let me fill that in."
that would actually be quite good. I would like to see that. I'm a
But then
sucker for a good one-liner.
But then, how do you put the dentist into an action movie? It's more like a horror, you know.
Well, I mean, you could do something. Maybe someone's got like, somebody's got an issue with like a family member of his or something. You could make something up.
Oh yeah, one of his clients has like a secret or something, or has like
Yeah.
He used to be like an ex-mob star, and now he's went away and became a qualified dentist.
Went through medical school, yeah.
Getting his degrees and all that.
I can just imagine him like the Tom Hardy movie Crate Twins, Jason Statham. He retires and goes to be a dentist. And he's gonna clean up his act, and he's got to do one last job before he retires.
I mean, if he was the captain, he could be on the high seas, fighting some crime on the high seas.
A pirate, Statham.
Yeah.
He could be in that Shiver Me Timbers. He could be in that.
I'm the captain now.
Popeye. Oh man.
You could see him with like a hat on and smoking a pipe or something.
Parrot.
Well, Staple's older than Nick, and that just makes him sad.
He's been around for a while.
He has. I didn't think he was 57.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, man. Nick's also saying, by the way, he's done 30 cinema visits this year, and this week he's going to go see Alternator and Working Man.
Well, you'll have one that has no action, Nick, and one that has a lot of action.
Right. A nice counterbalance between the two.
Make sure you see Working Man first, because you'll be asleep after Alto nights. I'm really actually looking forward to your thoughts on it. See if you like it. You may like it. I don't know. For me, it just wasn't for me.
Stopping crime at the drive-thru,
In the drive-thru.
Would you like fries with that? Shove fries down someone's throat.
Ryan, in all seriousness, you have to write a movie. A Jason Statham movie with all these one-liners. I love it.
Like, seriously, I think he is the perfect person especially since he does all these jobs, to come up with like funny little things and lines that he can say.
He is, yeah. I think he'd pull it off. I mean, he usually always has some kind of pun in his movies, doesn't he? So
yeah.
I mean, people can say what they like, but I did like Batman and Robin and Arnold with his one-liners.
Oh my gosh,
Them killed me.
that's the ultimate one-liners. Yeah.
I've still not seen the movie, but I've seen a lot of clips of Arnold's one-liners, and I'll get to it one day. Man. We've got a question from Perez. This was actually a little while ago, so sorry, Perez, for getting to it. So he says here, what's a movie from last year that everyone seemed to dislike and you're alone on the hill of loving?
Ooh, let me look.
That's a great question.
Oh, I know that. That should be easy. Joker.
Oh yeah.
Everybody hated that. I loved it.
Yeah, Ryan, I know you loved it. To be fair, I didn't mind it. I think I was like 2.5. Like I was like in the middle on that movie, you know?
Yeah.
But I know you really enjoyed it. You got the 4K, right?
I did.
Yeah, of course.
I haven't rewatched it yet, but yeah, I enjoyed it. Like, me and my wife went to go see it, and we didn't mind it at all. So
yeah, I know you were huge. I know you really liked the movie, which is awesome, though, because it's always cool to hear like a different take, or like when Jason picks a movie and everyone hate, like for example, like Ghosted, right? Everyone hated that movie, but then Jason really enjoyed it. I was like, wow, it's really cool to hear someone actually give this positive review, because I've still not seen it. So seeing Jason's review, I was like, okay, I'm kind of intrigued because someone actually liked this movie. But I know that wasn't from last year. I think that was like 2 years ago now. But I like those kind of hot take opinions for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Jason, this one's got to be an easy question for you, right?
Like, there's definitely a couple in my mind.
Yeah, I'm pulling up my letterbox, by the way.
I want to say Trap was one of them. Probably. I don't feel like people like Trap as much. I thought it was one of the best movies of the year. I really enjoyed that movie. I feel like that didn't get a lot of good reviews. Also, I really liked Unfrosted, which was this comedy on Netflix, Jerry Seinfeld comedy, and that made a lot of top 10 worst movies of the year. I saw it won. I think it won some Razzies at the Razzies year. I think it won like. I think Seinfeld maybe won like I forget. Someone won I think a Razzie for it. I thought it was really funny. I laughed a lot in it, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's horrible." I'm like, "Okay." Comedy, my idea of comedy is different than a lot of people. I don't know, but
it's true.
Those are definitely the two I really like that people. And this will be the biggest surprise. Maybe is that I liked that action movie with Cate Blanchett. Now I'm forgetting the name of the movie.
Borderlands,
yeah.
That movie.
I enjoyed it too.
I thought it was funny. I laughed at Jack Black's character. He made me laugh throughout the whole movie, and everybody's like, "Oh, he was horrible. He wasn't funny." I'm like, "Oh man, I laughed a bunch." And I thought the action scenes were actually really well done. I was like, this is kind of cool. It's kind of a fun action movie. It was my kind of movie, I guess. And everybody hated that movie. It was in the top 10 worst movie. It was. I even want to say it was like the worst movie for a lot of people. It was like, this is the worst movie here. And I'm like, this is actually one of the best movies I saw. But yeah.
Got the 4K right here.
Awesome.
Is that Steelbook?
No, it's just a 4K.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Just a slip. I didn't get the Steelbook. I just went with the slip because it went on sale. I think it was only like $20, which it's cheap for a 4K technically.
Right. That is for a 4K. That's really cheap, to be fair. Yeah.
Because
they normally charge like normal price because obviously it doesn't make the money in the cinema. So they're like, right, we need to recuperate the cost somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to look through my letterbox here. I'm trying to find one. I think the closest I've got is I didn't love this movie, but I liked it a lot more than other people. Probably Harold and the Purple Crayon.
Oh yeah. That wasn't very. Yeah.
Nah, a lot of people hate it, but I actually didn't think it was that. Like compared to a lot of kids' movies that we see nowadays, which are terrible, I was like, this one's actually at least trying to embrace the fun of it, you know. But again, I think with the actor involved, everyone was like, "Yeah, nah, we don't want this movie." Yeah, I mean, Jason, you had some pretty cool picks there as well. I know Trap you were huge on as well. I'd say I always like the different opinions for sure. You always have some interesting takes I always enjoy. Ryan, how about yourself?
And the first one that comes to my head, again, I didn't love it, but a lot of people seem to not like it too much. Furiosa. I thought it was really well done, and unfortunately, it didn't make a lot of money at the box office, at least on its initial release. Yeah, I really enjoyed the movie again. I thought it was really well done. Chris Hemsworth was a great villain, I thought. So yeah, that's the one that kind of stands out to me straight away.
Yeah, it's a cool pick, man. Yeah, I know a lot of people weren't huge on it, or like they didn't like it, or they were like, it was okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've heard Chris Hemsworth's great, and I've still not seen it, but I've heard Hemsworth was really good though. I think a lot of people weren't huge on Anya Taylor on the role, from what I heard, but
no, I think it was a pretty big box office disappointment. I think people were expecting that to be like one of the big box office movies of the year because the other one was pretty. Mad Max Fury Road was pretty well received when it came out, but
right.
People didn't care about Furiosa as a main character, or
I think it's tough because like that movie, like everyone, if they've seen Mad Max, you know, the Tom Hardy one, they already know Furiosa is in that movie. They already know she's alive.
They know she survives. Yeah.
I feel she was kind of the main person in the Mad Max movie anyway, so I was hoping for an actual Mad Max film, and we've got another Furiosa movie, really. And yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy, it was a pretty weird pick because it literally the end of Furiosa leads right into Fury Road,
Right.
and it doesn't look anything like Charlize Theron. But she was good in the role, I thought, but it was just a bit strange.
But when it leads straight into Fury Road and it's a different actress, you're going to be like, well, that doesn't sell the illusion. You have to try to tell me it's like 2.5 hours. Yeah, I could see. I'm not saying it, but I can probably see from that point of view, right? Because they don't look alike at all, to be fair. So, yeah. And plus, I think it was just way too late to do a prequel on that. Like, if they released it maybe a year or two after Fury Road, I think it would have probably been a lot better received. But it's been what, 10 years, maybe 12,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. Anyway, yeah, crazy time difference. But yeah, thanks for the question, up, Perez. Really appreciate it. We've also got Rena XX in. Hey, Mike. So, hey, what's going on, Rena? Well, I got Daniel Berry saying, yo. Hey, Daniel. Hope you're doing well, man. Josh is saying that I hated Snow White. It reeks of studio meddling and AI. Okay. I mean, again, I can't comment. I've not seen it before, not seen it apart from Ryan.
I think Ryan's the only one seeing it, so
yeah.
I've heard a theory on this. I don't know what you guys think. On Snow White, some people say that this version of Snow White is Lord Farquaad's daughter. I don't know how the real true that would be, but just putting that out there.
Yeah, I mentioned that in my review that some people said she looked like Lord Farquaad.
And you were like, I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it, yeah, in the images, yeah, and you think Farquaad, you think, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Nothing against Rachel Zegler, it's just the haircut, it just really looks like it.
It's not a good. Yeah, I agree.
Nah, I know that maybe try to go a bit accurate to the animation from the 30s, but yeah, I don't know. I think they could have done a different hairstyle, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's fair. It's a cool theory though. Farquaad's daughter. We've got Cinematic in the dentist nerve pulverizes. But he does say about Furiosa, by the way. He says Furiosa was legit. I bought 2 digital copies, black and white and colour. Nice, man. I know Cinematic, you're a huge digital cinema collection. I'm kind of curious, Cinematic, if you're still watching, like, where do you watch these digital copies? Are they all stored in like your Amazon account, or are they like stored on your phone or tablet? I've never actually asked you that. Yeah, by the way, Jason, he says Kevin Hart was so good in Borderlands.
Yeah, I didn't mind him at all.
I didn't mind him.
Different role.
People are like, he doesn't fit the character ever, but I mean, Kevin Hart's in really good shape. He's always been in really good shape. I mean, he's a comedian, but he's actually in really good shape. So it's like him playing like a whatever he was, like a mercenary or whatever, actually still worked for me. I still see him do action. You know, people say Cate Blanchett was too old for the role. I still liked her. I don't know. I don't know. That was just my thing. It was like everybody paid too much attention to how old Cate Blanchett was, and I was like, I thought she still looked good in the action scenes, but that's just me.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. I think she did pretty good. I didn't mind Kevin Hart either. I didn't mind the cast. Jack Black, I didn't like. I'll be honest, I didn't like his character. I'm not a huge fan of him anyway.
Oh,
So
okay.
obviously, like that didn't really work for me. But
So
yeah,
you're gonna love Minecraft, Mike.
Dude,
I
they have,
don't know.
toys everywhere here.
Well, I mean, if anyone has seen like the Steve character that he's playing, right, in Minecraft, you see like the Minecraft figure, right? Like it's like a young boy, teenager, and like how do you go from that to Jack Black?
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just wild how they've made that choice. To be honest, I mean, again, I hope he's good. I'm, gonna keep my reservations till I've seen the movie, and just from that. But yeah, Borderlands wasn't utterly garbage. I didn't hate the movie. But I didn't love it either, though. But I know you guys like it a little bit more, but it's cool. I was saying that he liked The Substance and Anora.
Nice.
Awesome.
Two good
stuff,
movies.
man. Awesome stuff. Yeah, Jason's going to get Substance on 4K, I heard as well. He can't wait to rewatch it.
I don't know if I'll watch it again, but it was a intriguing movie with, I think, one of the better storylines out of all the movies that are nominated for Best Picture. Like, Anora was actually kind of an interesting story. And I was a little put off by the way it was shot. It was weird the way they shot close-ups, but I think they did that to make you feel weird. So I kind of get what they're at. I still don't like it, but I'm like, okay, I get what you're doing. But there are some interesting shots like that. I love that long hallway, the orange hallway.
Right.
That's a cool hallway. Like every time they show like someone someone walking down the hallway, it takes them forever. They're just like, and I'm like, I don't know. It's still kind of, and then at the very end, I know not spoiling thing, but the whole hall is like full of blood, just splattered everywhere. And I thought that was kind of a cool shot of the hallway, like this orange hallway just splattered with blood. It was, yeah, it's good.
I don't think this would ever happen, and I don't think it's right, I guess. But do you think the Terrifier 3 could have been maybe another pick to go in the same categories as The Substance for the best makeup? Do you think? Or do you think The Substance was better than that for that category? Because, that uses all the practical effects as well. I mean, obviously, that's just too gory. The Oscars would never do it. But I think it could have potentially rightfully been in there for that.
I could see it getting put into that category. I think for The Substance, I think it's more so like, because Ryan, have you seen The Substance, by the way, or not?
I mean,
because I know you have. I know I've seen it. Jason has, but Ryan, have you seen The Substance?
Oh yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Conversation before, yeah.
Right. Okay. I just didn't know if Ryan had seen it because I was like, I don't want to start tearing, like the Band-Aid off and spoiling this movie, and Ryan's not seen it, right? But yeah, I think like The Substance, I think more so like the makeup, obviously like the body stitching, like the whole transformations, and obviously that's wild with the makeup designs and how it progresses as throughout stuff like that as well. Whereas at least I think with Terrifier, the main makeup is Art the Clown, and then you got to show practical effects. That would be my opinion on it, but I could probably see it getting nominated, but I wouldn't win.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if Terrifier won an Oscar.
I could never see it getting nominated either, to be fair.
That's too shocking.
Substance is so much different because there's not someone killing people, like only one person gets, I suppose, dies in the whole movie. I don't know. So it's like, it's not like a horror movie, like, someone's going around murdering people in really graphic ways. It's not really horror in that sense, I guess. People call it body horror, I guess, but to me it was like not a horror. It was, I don't know what to call it, a thriller. I don't know.
I would say body horror, yeah. Definitely in that category where it's not so much about like a slasher going around someone killing, right? It's just more like limbs coming apart and stuff like that.
Right.
And it does have a good message. Terrifier, not so much.
Yeah. I agree. I think Substance actually had a good message behind it. I thought it was interesting.
Well, it kind of played out like that, Jason, at the Oscars, with the best actress win.
The young lady who beat the older woman.
Yeah.
Right.
And
literally.
And I don't know if this is a trend, but it was like Anora, the Mickey Manson took her clothes off throughout that movie, won the Oscar. Emma Stone took her clothes off, won an Oscar. Is that the way to win an Oscar nowadays? Just take your clothes off? I don't know.
Could be.
Sydney Sweeney, you've heard it's how to get your Oscar. Go ahead.
Man, if that happened, that movie's making $1 billion at the box office.
Like, seriously.
It's gonna happen, and one day if that happens, generally that's gonna make a lot of money for sure. But everything that woman's in, it makes money, to be honest, with Sydney Sweeney. So
Yeah.
apart from Madam Web, but she wasn't the star of that movie, so that doesn't count.
And she's a very smart lady as well, as Mike was saying, what you're doing with the promotion of a movie. I can't remember the name of it, but you were saying smart movie.
Yeah, like she was promoting that movie, Anyone But You, right? And Immaculate on the social medias, and again, like people would do TikTok trends of being like walking out the cinema, being like, my reaction after watching Immaculate, or my reaction after watching Anyone But You, and they'd be singing along to like Natasha Bedingfield.
Yeah.
But like she would be reposting all those videos on her Instagram. So of course, people who look up to her, who maybe maybe like her style or how it looks, whatever, like a lot of girl fans and stuff, they're gonna go to see those movies and post a TikTok and hope that Sydney's gonna repost it, right?
Right.
But then the movie's gonna make a lot of money. Like that Anyone You was a huge success. At first, it wasn't doing great, but then as soon as she did that marketing tactic, it made a lot of money. I think Sony's considering doing a second one because of it. So it had a 25 million budget and made 220 million.
Oof, raked it in.
Right. Just for a rom-com, and rom-coms don't normally make that much money unless they've got like a big name or huge social trend or everyone's talking about it. So it made a lot of money, and Immaculate, I think, did pretty good too, I think.
Yep.
I enjoyed Immaculate.
They got me to buy that movie twice. Suckered me in to get the Blu-ray and then the 4K. So.
Right. Yeah, Ryan double dipped.
Yep. Unfortunately.
It was bound to happen, though. Bound to happen. Cinematic says, and then he said, I only watched Borderlands once. I was entertained in the theatre.
Yeah, that was too.
Because he said he had no connection to the source material and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah, and I think that probably helped a lot of people with that movie who liked it. Because, for example, like the video games are like rated 18, or like you guys rated R. It's very bloodthirsty, it's very gory, it's very graphic. So, obviously you're trying to make a video game adaptation and you have none of that.
Right.
That core audience is going to be like, what the hell's this?
Yeah.
It's like when they did Assassin's Creed, right? Everyone's like, where's the cool kills? Where's the blood? Where's this? And you didn't get that,
Yeah, I believe there was supposed to be an R-rated cut for that, and they scaled it back.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And they wanted more of a... I guess they felt with the R rating, it just wouldn't get its like wide appeal, I guess. So they're like, let's like water it down. I don't think Eli Roth was like big on agreement to that personally. Because I heard there was some controversy with him on set about that whole situation with them kind of changing all that. So yeah, I mean, I don't think we'll ever get another one. That's for sure.
No.
Nah,
that's one and done.
They did massive reshoots without behind his back, because I think he went off to do Thanksgiving. Obviously, at that point, they shot the movie. Then they did loads of reshoots to cut out all the R-rated stuff and scale it back. So the budget was between 110, 120 million, and they made 33.
It's awful.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be a sequel to that.
No,
they're not.
More money down the drain.
Unless it costs $2 million to make, you're not getting a sequel to that movie.
Yeah.
At all. Yeah. But yeah, it's wild with these like movie studios. I mean, caught up in the comments, so anyone who's watching live, if you want to leave a comment, we'll probably go for about 50 minutes more or so. But yeah, I mean, Ryan, you brought up a great point earlier about these movie studios like releasing these crazy budget movies, or they don't have enough budget movies, so then it kind of suffers as well. So, Ryan, I know you saw The Electric State. Ryan, did you?
Yeah,
I think so, right? I think so, right? And Jason, have you caught that yet?
No, not yet.
No. Yeah, me neither. Me neither. But I don't know. Kind of torn. Like, what was it? 320 million or so?
Yeah.
Is that the
It's
most
gotten
expensive Netflix movie ever? Or
it's gotten
Probably.
trashed from what I've seen, but I didn't think it was that bad. It was nothing amazing. It certainly didn't justify the budget. But I thought it was an okay watch. If it's a rainy day and you're just chilling out, I would say to pop it on. But yeah, a lot of people seemingly not too much of a fan of it.
Yeah, I didn't think it was terrible myself. I wasn't like really, I guess, like that intrigued with the story. I mean, I felt like there were certain things along the way that were cool, like certain things with the robots, I'll say. Some of the designs were pretty cool. Visually, I didn't think it was that bad. The soundtrack was pretty good. That wasn't like any bad acting or anything. I think the story is just kind of what makes the movie not have like a great feel to it, I guess. I don't really want to say too much about it because you guys haven't watched it, but like there's just certain things with the story that I would discuss if you guys have seen it, but y'all haven't seen it, so I don't want to get too into it.
There's like a lot of rubbish in the middle as well. I was really quite bored. I looked how long was left, and there was like another hour, and I was like, "Oh, God's sake!"
Yeah.
yeah, you know what it is? I think it's just crazy because, especially like Netflix. Well, I mean, I don't know about you guys, right? But if you think top of your head, like Netflix movies, specifically Amazon Prime exclusive movies, none of them have great scripts.
Usually not.
They're all like usually just very mediocre, like one-time watch, like just quick, easy throw-on movie, and it's done. Like, so to me, that kind of screams like they've got writers just like first-time projects, a writing team that cost $50 per movie to write a script, and that's it.
Well, I was gonna say, but at least with those movies, at least they know what they are going on those streaming services. I had to talk about this to my friend the other day. Some of these movies that they're putting in theaters, you kind of have to know your market as to what should be in a theater and what shouldn't be. I feel like sometimes these studios, they put certain movies, like for instance, the Alto Nights, because I believe that was delayed since like 2022, and then there was a whole bunch of stuff going on with that. But the movie was only slated to make like 2 or 3 million. I forget how much it cost to make, but my thing is, if it's not really going to make much and it's going to end up losing you money in the end, and there's struggles to kind of get it out, I mean, you might as well, try to get some type of deal on a streaming service, and at least maybe you can kind of recoup a little bit more, because I would think you would lose more money by dropping it in the theaters and only making a couple million versus if you're on the streaming service, maybe you get a little bit more money out of it. Maybe you don't break even, but at least you get a little bit more than what you would have gotten at the theater. And I think sometimes studios have to make better decisions financially before making that decision. Like, yeah, we're going to drop it in however many theaters, 3,000 theaters. And then you find out it has no buzz,
Right.
So I just think decisions need to be made better.
I think Netflix has a couple of good movies, and there's some interesting one coming out. Personally, Happy Gilmore 2, I can't wait for that one.
Yeah.
And Havoc, really looking forward to that. That's my most anticipated movie.
Yeah.
I just wish Netflix put as much effort into movies as they do documentaries and series, because there's some really good stuff in that realm. Just put that effort into some movies and you'll have some hits.
Well, maybe they have writers specifically hired for the service where they're better at adapting shows and documentaries versus movies. Because like we were just talking about with writers, a lot of, like, for instance, the Madam Web movie, those writers did TV shows. They may be better at writing TV shows, but they may not be very good at writing movies. So that may be the case with Netflix, where they have good writers there, but they're not specifically specializing in writing movies. So maybe that's something where they have to kind of branch out and get somebody that maybe have a little bit more experience, but then again, you may have to pay that individual a little bit more too. So like sometimes because of that, it suffers, Do
you think we're going to see like big name directors doing more streaming movies? Because it was a little bit taboo, I think, when it first arrived, but now, like, can you say like a David Fincher or people like that? Martin Scorsese's obviously now been doing it with a couple of movies. Do you think A lot more people are going to be open to doing them kind of movies now, not these big cinema movies.
I think if Netflix throws enough money at them, yes.
Yeah, I think it's a good question because, like, if you look for like Zack Snyder, for example, right? So they threw Rebel Moon at him, and they're like, "Look, do what the hell you want with that." You know, like he is 200 million, 300 million. Do what you want, right?
Yeah.
Right, which is crazy because I've heard like a lot of people say like, "Look, it's not great movies ultimately," but they give him the money. They probably give him the leeway, like where at least like a big studio, like, "Look, you got to have it done in this time project. You got this amount of money. Don't overspend." Whereas Netflix are probably like, "Look, take as much time as you want. Like you got a cast and crew. You got this maybe deadline. If you need an extra 10 million, let us know. We'll give you an extra 10 million." And because obviously they did the extended cuts as well, didn't they, of those movies? So clearly they were marketing, being like, "Right, this guy's going to be a big success. We've got a big director. Let's give him everything."
Do you think that's costing like a bit of a detriment though? Because Netflix just high money, like give them a restrained budget where they have to stick with it. Because if a director's just got loads of money to play with, I think it's kind of maybe affecting, like, what do you call it, Red One, just stupid amount of money.
Yeah.
Well, get a nice restricted budget, and a good director and writers can work off of that. It doesn't have to be this massive just money loader.
Well, the thing is with the Rebel Moon, so I'm just looking on like Wikipedia as we're talking. So Rebel Moon was given 166 million budget, but that's for both parts. So that's still quite a bit of money for a streaming platform to give. But yeah, I think it's all about like like us guys, right? We've networked, right, to like get to know one of each other, and then we've developed like real friendships out of it. So I feel like with Netflix, like if they give Zack Snyder that, this is my opinion. If you guys disagree, cool, like feel free. It's like open discussion. But yeah, I think like if they can give Zack Snyder all this money, he's made these 2-part movies. They've been big successes. They've been in like the top 10 watches and stuff for the week or months and stuff like that. So it's probably made them money and subscriptions back, right? Zack Snyder's got a fan base. Then more likely they'll probably work with him again, like he did Army of the Dead as well for Netflix.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's already got like 3 movies under his belt. So in a way, he might prefer to start working with them because he's got a better relationship. He's not got like Universal breathing down his neck for, right, you've got to do this. You're stuck to this script. They're like, "Look, you do your script. Here's the money. Just make sure you deliver the project,"
Yeah.
And I can see with directors, like, how many times have we seen movies in the studio, like Borderlands, right? Studio interference. If Eli Roth was with Netflix, they've always said, "Oh, look, here's your budget. Make a gory graphic movie, whatever you want," right? We're not going to get involved, like, because Netflix haven't got that like age restriction as such. Because obviously, a 2-year-old logs in on a parent's Netflix and they'll put Borderlands on, Like there's not that restriction as such, whereas the cinema you're restricted, like you've got to cut back the editing, you've got to cut back on the blood to get an age rating so more people go to see the movies.
Yeah.
Like Five Nights at Freddy, that was cut back a lot on the horror element, and everyone was like, "Where's the horror element in Five Nights at Freddy?" It's a scary game. People crap their pants playing the game, right? So I don't know. What do you guys think of this? I know I rambled a bit there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I mean, if they can get like a well-known director like that, and you can get a director that gets the freedom choice of doing what they want. Yeah, I mean, like that helps them out because they have a big name director. It gets them more subscribers. It gets people interested because it's Zack Snyder's movie. So come subscribe or come watch it. I mean, I don't know how they do their pay structure. If like, I don't know if it depends. I think it may depend on like minutes watched. I think it has something to do with that. I'd be curious to know like if they focus more on like the minutes watched or how many subscribers they get. But that would be tough to measure though, like how many subscribers you get in such and such week, because you don't know what people are subscribing for. They could be watching a TV show. So it's I guess they probably do it off of minutes watch is what I'm thinking, if it's in their top 10 or top 5. But yeah, like I agree. Like if it's a big name director, like it helps them out in the long run. I mean, maybe they could get more to where it'll help them out. But for me, like their movies in general, a lot of times they're usually just mediocre to okay. Like I rarely find myself watching a Netflix movie and go, wow, that was great. Like that's going to be in my top 20 at the end of the year, you know? So I don't know. I guess like maybe there's different expectations for everybody, but for me, like I don't know. Just feel like a lot of them are like mediocre to okay, but I mean, I think it's a good idea to get those big name directors in there, so at least it helps your platform grow. It'll get people interested if they know a big name director. So I think it's a wise choice on Netflix's part. But for me, I think they need to focus more on the quality of their stuff and their writing. And like I said, I think part of that problem is because they probably don't have the quality writers for movies, is what I think. Versus like they're more known for shows, and so they have more writers that are better at writing shows. So that's just my feeling on it.
Yeah, it seems like they're always dropping shows more than movies on their platform.
Yeah,
What I've noticed. But I was also going to add to this topic as well, Ryan, like because it's a great question. I also think the fact that Emilia Perez got nominated for all them Oscars, it could also give these big directors who's maybe never had an Oscar nomination or maybe had one 20 years ago to be like, well, hey, look, make a movie on our streaming platform. You may be guaranteed an Oscar nomination next year.
right.
You know,
That's
maybe
true.
a quicker route for actors and directors to get an award. Like, you look, Zoe Saldana won Best Actress for a streaming movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like, that's,
seriously, surely Netflix want to be taken seriously as well. Not just known for movies like, I mean, this didn't come from Netflix, but these kind of stuff. Norbit, if you've seen that, the kind of
Yeah.
known for them kind of movies.
Yeah.
Surely they want to be taken a bit more serious.
yeah. And I think with those Oscar nominations, that helps that, you know, it's established to be like, look, this brand is serious. The streaming platform is going to be maybe considered for more Oscar award ceremonies in the future. And, you know, given like that streaming, be like, look, there is an avenue in streaming. There's a platform for streaming. And there's an avenue for you to get an Oscar nomination or an award. Look at so they can add Zoe Saldana to the list. They can add original song El Mar to the list as well. Be like, well, look, this one Oscars. Zoe Saldana is a incredible actress. She didn't get that from mainstream movies, but she got that from our little streaming movie of Emilia Perez. You know,
It's a great way to get eyes on you as a director and actor as well. Because I remember, I think Netflix goes off of views. Because like at work, flicking through Google and stuff, there's these pages that come up like top 10 Netflix movies, and the views are insane. Like Red Notice, not a great movie, but I think it had like 300 million views or something like that. Like just crazy.
And they probably have like an algorithm, like how many minutes watched or something. I'm sure, kind of like how YouTube does with us.
Yeah.
right? You'd think so. You'd think so anyway. Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, and I think it's definitely like a great discussion piece as well. It'd be interesting to see what happens and like which big actors you obviously Tom Hardy in a Havoc movie, right? So
Yep.
Again, they've landed him on a streaming movie, you know, so that's pretty big for Tom Hardy, you know. And we've got Sully saying, "Hey guys," or "Hey Sully." He says, "What's your biggest movie surprise of 2025 so far?" I know what Ryan's pick is. Okay, I'm guessing Ryan's Magazine Dreams. I'm guessing.
Yeah, Magazine Dreams or Last Breath, like one of them two.
Nice, man. Yeah, two movies I haven't seen, but Magazine Dreams, I don't know if we'll get this to cinema release, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's under a small studio. It's under Briarcliff, so I'm not sure if you get their movies over there.
I don't think I've seen their movie promo before. I could be wrong, though. But that's cool, man. Jason, have you got any surprise movies you've seen so far this year?
You know, the best movie I've seen so far is The Gorge from Apple.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I really liked that movie. It was a fun sci-fi action movie. I was really into it. I don't know if it's gotten great reviews, but I recommend The Gorge.
Oh, nice, man. Yeah, I don't think it had bad reviews, to be fair. I think a lot of people actually didn't mind that movie. So, no, nice day, Jason. I haven't seen it yet, but obviously I know it's Anya Taylor-Joy and Miles Teller, right? So,
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much just. Yeah. What's her name? Gosh. Sigourney Weaver. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In the whole movie, There's not a lot of actors in it.
Okay. I mean, sounds interesting. Like all them actors and actresses involved, so that's pretty cool. Apple TV usually brings solid stuff most of the time. So
Yeah, if you like a good sci-fi story, I like a good sci-fi story. So I enjoyed it.
well, they had that Tom Hanks movie a few years ago, right, with him and the robot. That was Apple TV as well. Was it Finch?
Oh,
Something
okay.
like
Yeah,
that?
that.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, yeah, it was a few years ago. Ryan, how about you? What's your surprise hit of 2025 so far?
So I don't think either of you has actually enjoyed either of these films. Correct us if I'm wrong, but Flight Risk, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was pretty fun. Mark Wahlberg, I had a lot of fun with him in that role. And also Love Hurts as well. I thought Ke Kwan was just brilliant. I really enjoyed him. Kind of took us back to me Bruce Lee kind of days. I got that vibe from him. And yeah, I really enjoyed both of their movies.
Nice, man. Nice. Love Hurts was like a fun movie for the action sequence of it. Yeah, I really liked the action scenes.
Yeah,
and the first 15-20 minutes was great. I was like, I'm on board for this. And Ariana DeBose came in, and I was like, I'm out.
Poor woman.
I mean, what did you think, Ryan? You weren't a fan of the love interest storyline, though, were you? I don't think.
Which Ryan?
Yeah, this Ryan. I was like, try to go like that, right?
Yeah, I totally agree. Like with Ryan as well. I wasn't a fan of anything where that kind of stuff was on screen, but I never am. I hate love stories and movies. I'm just like falling asleep when they come on. But yeah, I really didn't enjoy that. I just want an action movie, which is really strange that I'm dumping on Jason Statham for, because he's actually good for not having that stuff in there. Yeah, I didn't enjoy the love story in this, but there was a decent amount of action, and I really did enjoy that aspect of the film.
Now, just because of that, he's going to make a movie called The Lover Boy. And he's going to have a love interest.
He could be a pimp in his next film or something. I don't know.
The pimp.
The pimp.
He's got like a walking cane and a nice little hat.
The pimp, maybe Cupid, even. Who knows?
There you go.
Oh man! And my surprise pick, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna go Popeye the Slayer, man. These IP horror movies, have been awful. Like, me and Ryan, I know it's pretty much suffered through most of them. You guys have, Ryan's maybe seen Blood and Honey, or like dipped his toe a little bit, but like they've been awful. But that movie, I was like, wow, they've actually put some like care into a movie, which is a video coming up on my channel about the Pooniverse IP movies not given care about, and this one kind of proved me wrong. I was like, wow, okay, it can be done.
Yeah. So
yeah, Popeye the Slayer, man. Oh, Jason Statham is Superfly. Yeah, I can see that.
Have you seen Rob Schneider's movies, European Gigolo?
Yeah.
Anybody?
Yeah.
That would be interesting to see Jason Statham in that. So that would be interesting.
There you go.
Oh man, American Gigolo.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, I think we're going to pretty much wrap up here. We're caught up on the comments, but just before we do, I want to take a quick time to say thank you to both Ryan and Jason for joining me on the live stream. I'm going to throw it over to my guests very quickly. So Ryan, Real Talk with Ryan, what have you got coming up on your channel?
So I just dropped a bunch of reviews in the past couple days. I got Snow White, Ash, The Queen of the Ring, and just dropped Magazine Dreams today. And then I'll be doing the Alto Nights coming up as well. So that's everything I got coming up at the moment.
Nice. Yeah, Ryan's got a lot of content for people to catch up on as well, if you haven't.
Always,
yeah. There you go. But yeah, plenty of reviews, plenty of stuff coming up as well. Like Ryan's already mentioned, a lot of cinema trips this week as well, just alone. So definitely go check out Real Talk with Ryan again. Link is down below in the description. And Ryan, not your normal geek, what have you got coming up?
So the next two I would say is Snow White, the animation review. I'd say first time watching, and I really enjoyed it. So I've got a little bit to say on that. In Novocaine, I'm really looking forward to that movie. It looks just a lot of fun popcorn flick. I know Ryan as well. He's had a lot of good say about it.
Mhm.
And yeah, they're the two things that I'm kind of doing at the moment, and the live action Snow White.
Nice, man. Yeah, so cool content coming up. I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on first time watching Snow White, the original, as well.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. And I want to ask Ryan very quickly, have you got any movies you're working on?
I haven't at a minute. Wait, I've got a couple of ideas with like working, but again, it's just finding that time. But I think I told you, Mike, American Psycho is probably top 3 movies of all time. So I want to do something like inspired, I guess, by that.
Huh. Okay.
Okay. Maybe the remake that we need, not the studio remake coming up with Austin Butler. But no, man, that's awesome stuff. So yeah, definitely go check out Not Your Normal Geeks down below as well, Ryan. And Jason, what are you working on as well in the background?
Yeah, Friday. We were planning on doing a live stream of the top 10 albums of 1968 with Briar, Scott, and Nick, and unfortunately we had to cancel that because one of them wasn't feeling well. So hopefully we'll do that maybe Wednesday, sometime this next week. I'm hoping we do a live stream on our top 10 albums of 1968. I just did a year in music of 1968 where I went over the year and what came out, the big stuff that came out of 1968. So working on hopefully doing that next week. Of course, got a lot of different stuff I'm probably doing because I still got 15 albums to talk about, my top 100 favorite albums to complete that list. I got 10 movies, my top 10 favorite Steven Spielberg movies to talk about. And then I'm doing a series of kind of recommended by Ryan. Real Talk with Ryan because he won my contest. So I've been doing the 100 favorite movies of the 1980s. So I'm still working on that, doing that list as well. And yeah, those are the main things. Many things I'm working on, but
Nice. Well, there's no shortage of content over on Jason's channel either. If you love lists, that's the man to check out right there. It's going to be 2030 and he'll finally get those lists done and then they'll reset with it.
I've got notebooks full. If you saw, I have like 4 or 5 notebooks just full of stuff.
Wow.
That I need to get to. I know, and Mike, he recommended me a band to check out because he came in second place on the contest. So I still need to check out that group that you told me about.
Who'd you recommend, Mike? Do we get a reveal?
Yeah. So first I was like, right, what do I give? Do I give Jason a movie franchise or do I give him a music artist? Because I was like, movie franchise, I'm not going to put him through Terrifier. That's just too cruel. And I was like, I don't really want to hear I want to hear him on horror movies. I was like, look, that's not fair, Jason. So I was like, I'm going to pick a band, and I'm going to pick a band that probably no one's really heard of ever. And it's a band called Run Kid Run.
Okay.
They're kind of like a Christian rock pop band from like 2006 to like 2011 kind of time.
Okay.
And I just remember like listening to music so much as a teenager, and even now I listen to quite a bit of music. So I'm like, right, I'm going to see if Jason maybe dig these guys. Maybe someone else have a fan of them, or maybe not. So I'm interested in that deep dive. I'm really curious, Jason, if you're going to like them or you're not. I don't take any offense if you don't, by the way, but I'm curious.
Okay.
But yeah, plenty of content on these guys' channel. Jason's link's also down below in the description box. And as for myself, very quickly, so Tuesday, Goldilocks and the Three Bears Death and Porridge review is coming. A 9-minute rant. So if you want to check out a rant on Tuesday, that's going to drop on the channel. I dropped my review of Popeye Slayer Man. And Thursday, me and Emma's going to the theatre. Going to go see Ghost Stories live on theatre. So I'll probably do like a theatre review as well. And then all the other movies I've got to catch up on Patreon picks. So I've got a lot coming as well. So yeah, so no shortage of channel guys for anyone here and myself. So yeah, I just want to again thank all my guests for joining. I want to thank you guys in the live chat for watching live or watching after the fact. And yeah, until next time, we will see you guys later. So take it easy, guys.